I'm clearing out all the little side areas while ranting because I can. Oh, I was just headed for this undiscovered site a long time ago and I just totally forgot. Yeah, people demanding more of a person than they're willing to or able to give is hard. A lot of streamers struggle with it. Yup. I'm a massive people pleaser. I love to make people happy. It's part of the reason why I do this job. Oops. There's actually an unknown zone right next to it. That's fine. It was probably just a randomly generated something or other. Oh boy, this looks fun. Let's go thermogun from this distance. I hope I can get a... I really want to get a rail gun.
This is bad.
Oh good, we're out of range. Looks like a lot of these might be drones, which is a little safer for me. Good. The stinking armor drones have crazy range. I wish they had only buffed the enemy that they're specifically attached to. Okay. I think the armor drones noticed me. One way or another, we gotta go say hi.
Let's try this again.
Because if this... Let's see. I cannot word. It's really hard to talk while dogfighting, to be honest. Okay, but yeah, if an enemy is, the armor drone is allowed to just stick around, I am in a bad spot. Switch over to this missile, but I'm gonna try and save it. Unless I'm in trouble. I'm actually doing shockingly well here. Oh.
I'll be first to shoot him down.
Let's take the turrets out real quick. Did I got my shield generator? Yes. Cool. Where are we? There we are. And I don't even remember how we got on this topic. I'll try and move away from it. Uh-oh. That has a lot of space mines. Luckily, they don't seem to be the chasing sort, which is good. Okay. This actually was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought this base was going to be brutal. I think I'm also just getting better at fighting them. What do we got in here? There should be... Oh, I see. The Eterna bypass. Yeah, no loot cache in here. Maybe a couple of things. Okay. This just gets me a high-risk area. This is what I'm looking for. I think I'm just going to keep investing in firepower. Probably? Device cooldown actually wouldn't be a terrible idea. Hull damage reduction. Shield damage reduction. Oh, I need 2 augments to get up there. Oh. Huh. Okay, so that's probably based on my pre-existing stats. Okay, let's take a look at perks. We've got a couple of things we can invest in. Not much, though. That one's getting a little closer. One thing I know I'm going to do after it's safe outside is find a public group to hang out with in person. Whether it's volunteer or hobby or workout. Workouts are worth it. Like, I know exercise sucks and is really uncomfortable, but it's absolutely worth doing. I've been having a little bit of trouble with it. I'm doing Ring Fit more, which is good, so I can start streaming again. But it is hard on my legs. It is super hard on my legs. But I am in full agreement. I've been spying on some of my friends. A number of my friends have been interacting a little bit, mainly Jazz and Enna, and absolutely can't fault them for that, especially because I believe Enna is properly vaccinated. I'm incredibly jealous. The only other person I've seen in almost a full year, I guess apart from my landlord and like one or two other people. Ooh, we got a station over there. Let's check out this station real quick. That sounds fun. Like the only other person I've seen is Shell and my landlord and I guess a couple of medical professionals when I got vaccinated against the flu. That's it. It's like, it's wild. And I miss people. Real people, real things, just going outside, doing stuff like that. Like, it's super weird. Thinking, yeah, I straight up have not interacted with another human being in person. Lucky you have a park near here. The problem is, our local parks are just covered in people that don't give a shit. So last time we went out was actually to go vote in the November election, I think it was. Or no, yes, I think it was the November election, because we absolutely wanted to make sure that we delivered... There's a shipwreck back over here. We delivered our votes to like a box so we wouldn't have to worry about it. And while walking, we passed like 5 or 6 people that didn't have masks on. A park full of children without masks on, no social distancing, and their parents who are, you know, in much the same manner. Let's see. Let's see if this gets rid of the toxic cloud. Yep, it did. Hell yeah. But yeah, tons of adults not wearing masks. And then, like, a couple of groups of people whose dogs were just shitting all over the place, and it's just like, this, doesn't strike me as particularly safe or great. You go on off hours. Yeah, I should do night walks, but it's always raining around here, especially at night, so it's just like, I don't know. Glad you have a fenced-in backyard. I absolutely wish I had a yard. It would have made life so much easier on me.
A G&B concessionary license is the golden ticket, they said. Make a nice little packet in no time, they promised.
I take it that it didn't work out as expected.
Well, I'm still here, ain't I? Only getting older. Never take G&B at their word, my man.
Noted.
Let's see. Wonder thinking of it. Since, if I recall, you order your groceries. How accurate are your orders? I would say 90% accuracy seems to be about right. Sometimes they get something wrong, they flip it around a little bit. It is yet to ever be... Oof, do I wanna? I don't know. It is yet to ever feel like it wasn't worth it. There were a couple of times where I was just like, you know, come on. You absolutely could have... let's see, what was it specifically? Like, they just sometimes leave really crucial things out. We needed new filters for our house. And we ordered it, like, 3 different times through 3 different groups. And just no one ever bothered to actually include that. And it was just like, this is annoying. Let's see. That's a shit ton of iron. Does this guy... Do they sell iron? No, they sell wiring kits. And the scrap metal if I want to go that direction, but no iron. So 5 wiring kits and a ton of crystals. And maybe the energy chargers. Do they have them? No. Yeah, let's buy a couple of these. I'm not even sure what I'm using this money for anyway. Okay. When I started groceries, they left out the bread and eggs. Yep. And it's like, I can't really blame people. Like, I'm very happy that, you know, things are working out fairly well for me. And, you know, I generally have everything. But the little bits are kind of annoying. Let's see. Best on materials. Wow, we have a lot of power cells, apparently. So really, we just gotta find scrap metal. And mainly... Oops. Mainly iron. Money is used to buy ships. Gunship is 35k. Well... I mean, the higher level I get, the more stuff we're gonna find. One way or another. My partner and I stopped remote ordering when they subbed in real milk for your almond milk. Thanks, buddy. I'm sure my lactose intolerant ass will be great great with this in my coffee. Yeah. I haven't run into that yet. Maybe partly because I'm living in Portland, but they seem to be very good about only replacing vegetarian stuff with more vegetarian stuff. But I can absolutely see why that would be a problem. This thing got messed up. That looks interesting. Go check this out real quick. I think it's just a bunch of hydras. Nope. There's something cool in here. I think that's the sort of thing you absolutely could, like, call and complain, and they just strike it from the cost. At least historically, I find grocery stores are at least pretty cool with you calling up and complaining because you got the order wrong or included something that is not acceptable. The one that pisses me off and pissed me off to the point where I will never use the service again is screw DoorDash. Their dumbass service just randomly decided to change my address one day to just a completely random address. I'd never ordered there before, nothing in my order history, no weird errant charges, no information saying, like, this is your address now. They just straight up changed my address in the system. And so when I ordered food, they just delivered it to this random house, and I called them up, and they're... Oh, God. I called them up, and I'm like, where did my food go? Who lives here? Why did you send it to this house? All they could say is, we'll give you a $15 off on your next order, and it's just like, you suck. I was very mad that day. Because not only... let's see. Not only did they not give a shit, but, you know, it was absolutely just their goof. Question mark? Okay, let's use some missiles. This place sucks.
This is getting ridiculous.
I might honestly have to use some items here. Let's just bail for a second. Should have probably bailed the moment I lost my shields. That actually might not have been a bad move. Get 15 off the next order. What about this order? It was just this... It was one of the most corporate experiences I've had in a long time. Which is weird. Because, you know, I would have expected a lot of other services to, you know, be... I would have expected a lot of other services to be shittier than, you know, kind of one of these... Well, I'm sure DoorDash makes shit tons of money now that I'm thinking about it. But it feels like, for DoorDash, Postmates, Instacart, and so on and so forth, they should almost be bending over backwards for... to try and get as much, like, community goodwill going on their side as possible until they have some level of, like, market dominance. But I guess the point is they already have market dominance, so they don't give a shit. Or they're just trying to make as much money out of it as possible before selling off to whoever. Because, like, cripes if I'm ever going to order through DoorDash again. And I will say, like, upfront and honestly, like, I don't like them as a service. They're not good. They're absolutely terrible to, you know, local businesses, and the service is kind of subpar. The only reason why I don't, like, absolutely hate them is because, like... Ow. There we go. Yeah, the only reason why I'm not, like, immediately saying, like, we should just get rid of these businesses is because the gig economy is kind of propping up a lot of people that need jobs nowadays. DoorDash owned by EA. Get your ordered egg rolls for the DLC price of $3. It's in the game. I mean, you joke, but that is absolutely stuff that I've had happen. Every single time I open these apps, it's like, here's your $5 off if you order in the next, like, X number of minutes. And it's like, it just doesn't feel good. Like, I'm super down with the idea of, like, a holistic community-oriented, can I? Oh, that's actually better than what I've got. Blaster is really good. I'm gonna take a look at those cruise boosters for a second. Okay. So what are my current ones? This is just 1,000 times better, I think. Okay, scattergun. Which would be interesting to try at some point. Later, though. Here. Yeah. Okay. Inventory's already full, but I'm feeling good. So let's actually head this direction. But yeah, I've... What else? What else happened? There was definitely a couple with, like, DoorDash and whatnot that it was just, like, it didn't feel good.
Well, G&B. Can't say that I missed you.
There's definitely a couple where, like, my order got screwed up in a really stupid manner. I don't know. I think a lot of it just has to do with takeout food. I ordered fried tofu and it came cold once, and I was just like, why even have this on the menu if you can't keep this toasty? But, the overlap of people who want almond milk and the people who'd be fine with regular milk is 0. I mean, it's at least 1, because I'm one of those people. I mostly drink... What the hell's going on here? I mostly drink, rice milk and oat milk. Not out of, like, health reasonings, but just because I really like rice and oat milk way more than, like, cow's milk. And also from, like, an environmental and ethical situation of, like, the way we treat cows is not good. And I would very much, like, be fine with never drinking cow's milk again. Cheese would be a lot harder, but luckily we don't have... cheese is at least slightly less... You don't need tons and tons of cows for cheese. And also, goat cheese is real good. And goats, I think, are better for the environment. Could be wrong on that one, but I think that's the case. Okay, we got another hardened ore patch. You know what? It's probably this thing. Nope. Huh. Wait, am I? Do I, like, angle it or something? Because I don't think I can rotate that. I don't know. Well, I guess I'll just stop moving for a hot moment. And let's actually use the resource scanner. Yeah, almond isn't much better environmentally. No, almond is actually the only milk alternative that I know of that is actively almost as bad as cow's milk. Mainly just because almonds are incredibly water intensive. And generally, I think they're farmed in California, which, you know, is not a place that you want to have water-intensive crops, but because it's profitable, that's what they do. That said, I would still say that almonds are probably still generally better than cows, just because almonds have high water requirements, but they don't have nearly as much of a methane production. In fact, I don't think they have any. So, like, even though it's not great, it's still better. Did I just fly through the planet, or what is going on? No. Turn off autopilot, you dumb creature. I want to go to this thing, and then we'll try and change it around. So kill the cows. Can help on that. Do me that by eating burgers, because unfortunately, the more burgers we eat, the more it becomes. The more burgers we eat, the more financially viable having more cows is. So the real trick is to just really cut down on the amount of meat you eat. It's kind of like the only way you're ever going to get EA to actually treat people like people is if people stop buying their products as much. Because you can be mad at EA all you want, but until people stop throwing money at them, EA is just going to keep being EA. I'm just as guilty of this, but the idea of just eating cows does not actually solve any problems. Let's actually bail out of this for a second. My shields are down. Who's the other guy shooting me? Oh, it was the Madcap pod. Let's see. But the one thing I would say is, like, if somebody is lactose intolerant, I'm not going to really judge them for the alternative that they found that works for them. Because they have way less of a choice than someone like me who can just drink whatever the heck I want. Okay, let's bail out again. I gotta use that hit and run a lot more. I usually just go into the thick of it, and it's not great. I totally want to try lab-grown meat. I do, too. I'll be perfectly fine with meat alternatives for a while, but I just want to see what you can do with it. Because you can do way more quote-unquote unethical stuff. Okay, quote-unquote unethical stuff. Like, you can't bioengineer a cow so that it tastes... Well, you kind of can. But you can't do, like, really intensive changes to a cow's genetics to make it taste better. But lab-grown meat? Why not? That's a good example. I mean, you'll be able to get the exact perfect, you know, protein and fat ratios in there. Oh, I gotta throw the bomb back to actually get it to drop its shields. We'll leave it for a second. Plus, I still think of just kind of the weird potential for... crazy stuff, I guess? Ow. Wow, that hurt. I don't know if that was a bomb or what. Okay. This hurts. There's a missile turret in there. Damage booster. Oh, that'd do it. So find the reliance on trying to pass off veggie burgers meat substitutes rather than letting them stand on their merits to be sad as well. The thing is, you're not... It's a lot easier to convince somebody to try an alternative if it tastes and looks and feels exactly like the real thing. Like, I'll be entirely honest with you. It wasn't until I started eating an Impossible Burger at Disneyland, you know, a year ago, that I was even really open to the idea of going, like, full vegetarian. Because as much as I like veggie burgers, they never really did it for me as kind of like a full replacement. I was always kind of hungry, and I just wasn't... I wasn't really that big on every single veggie burger I ever had. Some of them were great. Trader Joe's has amazing veggie burgers. But even then, you know, you can only eat Dr. Prager's and, you know, the... oh gosh, what is it? It's like the Thai-style veggie burgers from Trader Joe's. Like, you can only have that so many times before you're like, I'm kind of sick of this. And there's not much you can do with those either. But... Impossible Burger, Beyond Burger, so on and so forth, like... I think it's okay to have those be marketed as, like, full-on just, hey, this is just as good as beef. You won't notice the difference. Because all it takes is one, like, good meal with one of those, and then you're kind of open to the idea of using them for more things. But a lot of people tend to be very close-minded with their habits. Not exactly in the same vein, but I've known a lot of people over the years that get, well, that were super not okay with the idea of, like, electric or hybrid cars, that they would scoff at the idea of them. And, you know, how do you convince somebody that is already inherently... let's see. That is already inherently, like, biased against the point you're trying to make or the thing that you're trying to promote. And to some degree, like, you just can't necessarily... Oop, hi? Okay. To some degree, you can't necessarily convince every single person. Oh, there's a defense turret in there. Not for long. Gosh. What is this? Energizer. Extra output at stop versus... Yep, that's just straight up better. Okay, pulse mutator. Cripes. I don't really need to use this stuff. Okay, let's just melt this dude down. I don't have enough inventory space for all of this. I would love to. Energy core, extra tractor beam range, but worse power. I'm so glad crafting components do not take inventory space. There's another one!